What's up, Battery? Dear Butch, what's up? Zoom dude, what's up? I'm finishing my dinner.
Alright, I got it unmuted. I had to go find.
Wow, 100 degrees. Ugh. No thanks, man. That's way too hot for me. Once it gets above 75, 80 degrees, I start feeling miserable. It was cooler today after that storm line came through. I didn't go outside yet today, but I had the windows open a little earlier. And like this morning, say about 7:30, I think. It was like 57, I think. So it's probably in the mid 60s today. But that storm line, yeah, it looked nasty on the radar when I heard a lot of thunder. But by the time it got to me, it had all kind of broken up, and we just got like tiny little bit of shower here and there. Nothing much at all. Oh. What's up, my brother Bill? Yeah, I don't like it when you get like 30 degrees of separation all in one day. That kind of sucks. It screws with your body. Usually gives me a headache. Hmm. That was one tasty fucking omelet. Ugh. Looks like Don's in a heat wave. What's up, Don? And Bill, no, I did not get to see the eclipse. I saw the moon about maybe a half hour before it was supposed to start. It was all nice and bright and everything, but by the time the eclipse, started, it had clouded over and I couldn't see it. Whew. Hot damn hot. Ismail Perez, welcome in. How you doing? Yeah, I got to be pretty desperate to put in my small window AC unit. I haven't put it in my bedroom window. I didn't put it in last year, and I don't think I put it in the year before that. I just sweated it out. That thing is expensive to run. I ain't got the money for it. When it gets hot like that, I got a big stand fan and a floor fan in my bedroom, and I just point them right at my bed and just try and sleep through it. Oh, I got a link for Zoom. Don will think it's cool too. Check this out. Hello, Kimmy. How you doing? Yeah, an Arctic battle buggy. Years ago, geez, I think I was like 17, maybe even 16 years old. I went to an auto show in Cleveland at the big convention center, and they had a concept car there that was, I think it was a Jeep, like a big Jeep Grand Cherokee that had that kind of propulsion or track system on it. It had like, instead of wheels, it had triangular shaped individual track units on it. That thing looked cool as fuck. Yes, Don. The military clearly has too much money. Welcome in, TX Classy. Excuse me. Nice, Don. Later, TX. Hey, have a good one. Get the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Pack them bowls, roll them joints. You know, I don't know if I've ever really had real espresso before. I think I maybe had it once. Yeah, Bill, I switched over to shorts about a week ago. Yeah, I heard those Italians know how to make coffee. Fire in the bowl. Brought to you by SausageGravyBiscuitFarms.com. There's a link if anybody wants to come up. Whereabouts in Italy did you live, Don? Was it Florence? Kim, no, Wiz has not been on yet tonight. Hey.
What's up?
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful. So, dude, I've had this idea for forever. So I'm going to just throw it out there. Ever since you showed me the drive, which I didn't know existed, and ever since there's a whole bunch of other military update sites that I really like, but there's one Indian one that's like really good. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but dude has an update every day and it's really very professional and graphics are good. We need something like that for the United States military. I actually am thinking about I would not mind doing that, but I don't have the fucking HTML skills that I need to get to pull something like that off. So I'm trying to find something. I'm hearing a lot of people having success doing HTML in Word.
I have zero experience doing any kind of web building. It's coding, any of that stuff. I had no experience at all.
I did it back in the day before there were really fancy schmancy fucking. But when it was just HTML, I did it. I could do it in Notepad. I can write HTML. That's easy. It's the CSS, the Java, the fucking the what's the word that I'm looking for? The outlays, the layouts. Excuse me.
The templates.
CSS, huh?
Templates.
Those. It's those types of style things that I have a problem with. Just doing fucking, creating an index page, I can do that. Putting it, using FTP and getting it up onto a website, I can do that too. So, I don't know. I'd like to. I'd like to.
Never too old to learn, I suppose.
Well, I'm not sure that I'm actually going to have to learn a lot there as much as I am going to have to just brush my skills up, which I need to do anyway because I need another half dozen websites to do some other projects that I'm doing. That said, I've been in house build mode for the last year and a half, and I don't really know how to get out of that. I'm still kind of in house build mode with the solar thing, with the RV thing, with the fucking landscaping thing, just everything. So anyway, I'm rambling now. I'm stoned. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I shouldn't be smoking, but what the fuck? Excuse me.
I just got all kinds of shit going on.
That hit tasted like fucking popcorn.
It sounded like popcorn. Tasted like
Well, I did make some popcorn a couple of nights ago, so
well, there it is.
maybe maybe I was using the pipe that night. I don't know. Most
You're
likely I
smoking some
did.
of that salted butter, maybe. I don't know.
No, and this wasn't microwave popcorn. This was old fashioned. Pop them in a fry pan with some oil and popcorn. That was the bag. The date on the bag was like 12 years old. I'm surprised it still
Dude.
popped.
Yeah, I mean, but how old can popcorn get? Aren't they still digging popcorn up from
I'm
fucking
sure they
Egyptians?
are. Yeah.
I mean, haven't they found 1,000-year-old popcorn from the
Yeah.
fucking
Over in
Incans or some shit like that? Shadow, yes, getting old over here, bitch. Ace at spreadsheets, dude. I own spreadsheets. You can't put, well, you can, but spreadsheets ain't gonna get you on the web. That's what I need.
Yeah, I'm no good at spreadsheets either. I never got training on that.
Most of those
I
office
see.
things I'm pretty good at.
When I was in school, I was right at the burgeoning beginning of like net skills and stuff because the internet was first like becoming commercial, like around the time I was in high school.
Dude, you're what, 35 years old, something like that?
42.
42. You should be deep, you should be neck deep in these fucking skills.
Yeah, I know. It's just when I got out of school, that wasn't the kind of line of work that I was in. And I never developed spreadsheet skills.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't mandatory in school like it is now.
Well, yeah, you're right. It is mandatory in school. Um, I recently made the observation, and it just kind of really stunned me. So I have a niece that is 7 years old. Well, great niece that's 7 years old. I have a great nephew that's 5 years old. I recently got them both Samsung 10-inch tablets, just standard Android tablets, nothing major, nothing fancy. It was like a buck and a half a piece, right?
Yeah.
Got them nice rugged cases, that handles on them. They got some really cool shit for fucking kids cases, by the way. But I was really taken aback by how they just took to them. They didn't need instruction. They didn't need help.
It was
I mean,
it was the same
they
thing
needed
with
help
my
getting it
nephew.
started up.
Same thing with my nephew. Like he's 9 now, but like
Yeah,
when he was like 5 years old, he could pick up a tablet and figure it out for himself in 5 seconds.
right.
It was like unreal.
Exactly.
But then I look back, like when I was a kid, my first experience with computers was in middle school. Or no, I take that back. 5th grade in elementary school, we had an Apple IIe, and we played Oregon Trail on it. And then when the internet got local around here, it started with the Cleveland Freenet, one of the original internets from DARPA. I started on that. Yeah, same time. Or no, in middle school. And it was strictly just ASCII based bulletin board server type internet run by a big university here in Cleveland. But it gave you email and like forums that you could join.
See, that was so leaps and bounds of that was generations. That was 10,000 years ahead
Yeah.
of what I was doing when I was in high school. when I was in high school, we had a desktop PC called HAL in the library. We had one in the whole school, and it was loaded using audio cassette tapes. So, and I would write little basic lines and routines and copy them on. And I thought it was just the greatest thing in the world when I could go to Radio Shack, buy a quality cassette tape, and store my little lines of basic code on it from one day to the next when I would go to the little green screen, 9-inch green screen fucking HAL computer in the library. So I had none of that. It wasn't connected to anything. It was a 8088 desktop green screen text base. Anyway. So, I mean, shit. Everybody's got a different thing. Everybody's got a different story about technology. People dig it. Some people don't dig it. For me, it was a natural, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I would do my job for half of, or I would do my job for free if they'd let me, if I could get away with it. Honestly, I just dig what I do. I just really, really like it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I could do regularly spend 8, 10, 12 hours a day in front of a fucking computer doing a half a dozen different things. So anyway, that's my story. It ain't much, but he gets the job done. I freak my nieces and nephews out because I always know more about the computers than they do. And they're like, "You're old guy." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I was doing this shit when you were still a twinkle in daddy's eye."
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was 3.0, baby. Exactly.
I got a PC downstairs that my dad used in his studio for MIDI work with his keyboards, and that thing's still running on Windows 95.
I have a box. I actually, you're going to love this. So, a buddy of mine back in Virginia helped me clean up one of my basements one time. He found a box of Windows NT 3.51.
Okay.
It was like, the first of servers, and it's 20, 25 years old. But it was just sitting up on the shelf in the box. So he's like, "Can I have this before you throw it away? Can I have it?" I said, "Yeah, take it." So he did. Threw it up on eBay. 6 months later, he got $1,000 for it.
Yeah.
900 and something after the dealy whoppers, but and he was afraid to tell me about it. I was like, "Dude, you deserve it. Why would you be afraid to tell me? You grabbed that when it was headed for the fucking garbage, so you knew what was up. So it's not me, it's you. So why would I have a problem with that?"
Yeah, I remember one time, late 90s, probably 96, 97, my dad, he was still working at the factory, and the research and development department was throwing out some old computers that they had, and my dad was doing the trash that day there, and he saw they were throwing out this old portable computer, not a laptop, but like a portable PC. It was one of those old compacts that looked like a suitcase.
I had one of those.
Yeah,
Yep.
it had the detachable full-size keyboard on the top,
Yep.
and you took it off, and there was a
An
little like
orange
5-inch screen
plasma display. Yes.
with like two 5 1/4 inch floppy drives next to it.
Yes,
And
sir. I am deeply familiar with it. Yes.
Yeah, he got a pass for it. He, went back inside and asked the R&D guy. He's like, "Yeah, dude, can I take this?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll give you a pass." So he brought it home and he gave it to me and my sister. He's like, "Here's a portable computer for you. Play around with it." It's like, well, we can't like play games on it. He's like, "Well, learn to do something with it." And I think my mom threw it out after a couple years. And I wish she didn't, because those things are worth money for like nostalgia purposes.
They are. You're
And
absolutely right. I
collectors.
have an
Yeah.
old Mac that I'm holding on to do just that. I'm hoping one day it's going to be worth $2 or $3 more than the scrap gold in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Those things are worth money. Now everybody's got a fucking computer. Now it's just different. Now computers are commodities. People throw them away.
Yeah.
Punch cards. Dude, I know. I was there. I saw all that shit. Yes, 100%. Now it's different. Now it's ubiquitous. It's across the board. Everybody's got a computer. Now people sell services like they expect you to have internet. One of the things that I've always thought, I just thought was fucking just one of the greatest business processes, one of the greatest business ideas of all times was Microsoft Office. My humble opinion. They used to sell that thing for $500 for a fucking CD's worth of low-grade tools. Now they sell it for $100. They sell a subscription to it. For $100 a year, you and 5 of your additional family members or friends can have, upgraded completely access to upgraded office tools, all of them. There it is. I had one of those. Yep.
They're going for about
And
$1,000 on
internet.
eBay right now.
How much?
1,000. There's one on eBay right now for $1,000.
No shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised. Anyway, $5,000. Miles of confetti. Yeah, they did. Big floppies. So yeah, I just want to get up and say, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
I don't want to occupy too much of the conversation here. But dude, and this is really why I got up here, because this is what I wanted to say, and all the rest of that was just kind of going around the corner. You should be a military web maker, updater, YouTube star. You should be Mr. Canoes to the Moon.
There's a lot of people out there doing that shit on YouTube. I don't know. It would probably be hard to break in, start up a new channel doing that kind of stuff. But I don't know.
I disagree. I disagree with the hard. First, the people that are out there doing it are all foreigners. Everybody that's doing the U.S. military is either fucking Russian or a Chinese. I swear they are. There's no fucking Americans doing American military. And Americans tell a different story on American military. They just do.
Yeah, I know the foreign ones that you're talking about, their content's actually like total fucking garbage.
It is. Correct.
Yeah, they use like computerized, AI voices to do all the narration and everything, and are just showing like old stock photos, that don't even pertain to the news story. It's like, yeah, they're garbage.
So you know where I'm at?
Yeah, I know where you're at.
So how could, a high quality military mind not be able to break into something like that?
Yeah.
How could you not be able to break into something like that? how?
Yeah.
I believe you're natural at that.
Yeah, I could probably do it, but I would need the infrastructure to actually do a studio quality presentation, which I don't have. I'd have to get a new computer, professional microphone, professional camera, that kind of shit. I ain't got money for that right now.
Yeah, we'd need to get you some tools, but I believe I believe the skill set's there. I'm pretty sure the desire's there. Anyway, I just thought you'd be a natural at that. I always thought that I would like to do something like that. I also and I got the idea from you, so you know.
Well, it's for me. It's always been I dig around online, open source shit, and just present it. You know, give the links for verification for source info. That's all I do. Hey, Wild Bill, have a good one. Sleep well.
All righty, Bill. Be cool. His dogs, whose dogs? Cousins, PC was
Wizard, yeah. Wiz
Wiz's
has been
dogs.
having some connection issues. So I don't know if he was around last night or not.
How is Wizard having connection issues?
I don't know.
Any idea? I mean, is it his router? Is it his internet? I mean,
I think it's a combination of his internet and his phone, because I think he was pulling the internet off the phone. He was like tethering one night. Oh, well, and here he comes now.
and
So
there it
hear
goes.
from the horse's mouth. What's up?
What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
It's another day in Happy Land, baby.
Where's Happy Land?
Happy Land was when I got 250 volts of PV panel into my fucking inverters today, and they lit up and said, "Hey, everything's cool. How you doing?" Oh, by the way, fault.
Oh shit!
Oh, it's okay. I mean, I expected the fault because I didn't really have the battery. It was unexpected that they lit up when I turned the fucking PV switch on.
I'll be right back.
So I'm pleased. It's progress, is what it is. It's progress.
Wow, there you go.
And I'm happy to have some progress.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah. I got all that business done today, and then we went and got another load of wood chips.
Another load of wood chips.
Yeah. Oh shit! Another 2 tons.
Well, I'm at the point where I need to get some more PV into one of the other inverters because I need all 3 inverters up. Once I get all 3 inverters up, then I'll have, 240 volts that I can make Bitcoin miner power out of.
Oh wow! Right? Yeah.
Dude, again, it's process. It's all, one thing is building on the other thing, which is building on the other thing, which is building on the other thing.
Right. No, I got you. I know. I get it. Yeah.
Try to move things ahead, Some days it's 1 step ahead, 2 steps back. Other days, today it was 2 actual steps ahead. Tomorrow will probably be 2 steps back. We'll
Right.
see.
Right. Yeah. I'm hoping tomorrow's 2 steps ahead. Oh, man, I tell you.
Well, see, that's the thing. I always have hope. Always. You got to always start with hope.
Where's Hope?
Hope.
I've been looking for her for a long time.
She normally ain't around. She don't hang out here much. That's for sure.
Right?
But you got to look. You got to say, hey, I got a little hope.
Got a big hope.
What do they say? Ask in one hand, shit in the other, and see which one fills up first.
Right. Oh my Lord. Yeah. But yeah, definitely making a lot of progress, getting a lot of shit done.
How's puppy dogs?
Oh man, they're almost fully recovered.
Okay.
Yeah, they're fully
Your
recovered.
puppy dogs worry me more than anything else.
Well, you know what? The Benadryl didn't do shit. You know what worked?
You said the cumin worked.
Yep, turmeric and curcumin.
Turmeric. Okay, cool. That's very cool. I'm glad something worked.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just so sad that they had to go through that shit.
yeah, me too. Oh my Lord, it was so horrible. But no, the turmeric worked like a charm. Took the swelling right down. I mean, it was like 20 minutes. Started taking the swelling down. I gave each one of them 3 tablets of that body.
What are you pouring there, Canoes?
Iced tea.
Oh.
No, I'm officially off soda.
Okay.
So I've been making
I
cold
understand
brew.
completely, dude. Iced tea is the way to go. It really is.
I just haven't had time to even make it. Ugh. Oh boy.
I had one dog, Lila. She chewed up a big old bumblebee and it stung the hell out of her mouth and her whole face just swole up. And I was like, "You poor little thing." There's nothing I could do except for give her a bufferin for pain and a Benadryl for the swelling.
Yeah.
That's it. And then she just kind of got to lay there and sleep through it. And hopefully the swelling and the swelling went down and it was okay and she lived. But you just feel so sorry for them.
I know. That's all I can do is just sit there and love on them and just be like,
That's it. You know what? I'm a hard ass, but when it comes to my dogs,
Oh, I went and got that
I'm a big old pussy.
that flea and tick ointment for the dogs today. Yeah, the ticks are just getting so ridiculous around here. It's just bizarre. So I went and got some of that stuff for the dogs.
You know what? That is one thing I am not gonna miss is the ticks. I'm so happy they don't have them out here, but we got scorpions and rattlesnakes,
Right?
and I've already seen both of those this week. So, fuck.
Right? Now you got to sting your dog and bite your dog.
Well, we do have a rattlesnake. What do they say? It's a rattlesnake. What the fuck's the word I'm looking for here? It's not an ointment. It's not a repellent. What it does is they get this shot, and then 2 months later they get another shot. And supposedly if they do get bit by a rattlesnake, it slows the venom long enough for me to get them to the vet.
Right.
To get them the anti-venom.
So it kind of sounds like an anti-venom booster.
Yeah, it's a booster.
Like microdosing booster.
It might be. I'm told that's the closest thing to a fix that we got to rattlesnakes out here. So I went ahead and got that. for the
Yeah, let's
kids.
get acclimated. Yeah. Hey, welcome in, Miss Miriam.
One of the little tips that I learned in all my camping experience, if you get bit by a rattlesnake, one of the best things you can do, take an onion and slice it into quarters and press the onion against the bite mark, and it will actually, there are enzymes in an onion that will help draw some of the venom back out of your bloodstream and it, get absorbed by the onion.
The apple works too.
What works too?
I've heard an apple works too.
I've not heard that, but that's good info to have.
Yeah, but I've heard of the onion thing. That's pretty much, yeah, the deal.
Hello, Miss Miriam. How are you? Good
Rick don't
evening.
give a shit about garlic one way or the other.
Ticks hate garlic. Okay. I think pretty much most things hate garlic.
Right? Right. Even the dogs love garlic, but anyway. B12, mass dose B12, Miss Miriam. You want to, yeah, keep taking the B12. You'll need to take it for 3 to 4 days, probably about 2 to 3 times what your daily recommended dosage is in the daytime, and then you sweat. When you're sweating, the B12 turns into an enzyme that extrudes from your sweat glands. And yeah, you might find them on you, but they won't attack, or very seldom will they attack.
Miss Miriam, I hope you're working on that immigration documentation.
Kershaw.
I got a lot of faith that you're gonna get through this. How does that go? Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. You're the one that I expect to get through this.
Oh yeah, you're the only one we can.
You know what? Everybody talks a good game. Everybody talks a good game, but I've watched Miriam go through all of the hardship and horseshit that is required to get the job done. She's got an ultimate goal, and I've seen her walk through fucking fire and mud and all other kinds of horseshit to get that goal. She flew. I mean, she took her mom's money. She flew from fucking Canada down to the jungle, stayed there for 6 months, come back up through the Mexican border. Not a small task at any stroke of the imagination, all to get to where she wants to be in the U.S., close to her father, so that she can do the immigration thing and be a dual citizen.
Right.
I applaud the tenacity over the long haul. That's what I got respect for. A lot of love for that. Anyway, I'll shut up now. You're right, Marion. Everybody wants in. And no, you weren't lucky. You busted your fucking ass for it. Luck had a little bit to do with it, but you busted your hump for it. And that's why you're where you are. And that's just that. I'm sorry. Everybody else talks a good game, but I've watched you fucking execute through a whole bunch of horse shit. And it's been, well,
and still sticking to her principles.
She is. She's sticking to it. She's making it happen. I'm just impressed with her. Anyway, I'll shut up now. Sorry.
She's hard.
Yeah, I think Wizards froze up. Wiz, if you can hear me, you're all froze up.
Well, I mean, she is. She is. I mean, everybody else is talking horse shit. She's stepping up and getting it done. So,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Wiz is starting up the Jenny. He'll be back in a few.
oh, and not to mention the visitation tour where she came up through Mexico and saw all the cool shit in California. She went to see all the cool shit in Wyoming. She went to see people
Yeah.
before she went to Missouri. She went to see Don Bear and she just went to see people. And I thought that was cool as shit. Anyway. The heebie jeebies. I feel you. I don't know what a skinwalker is. And I prefer not to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It's one of those paranormal things.
Ah.
Shapeshifters type shit.
Okay.
Yeah, like listen to George Norrie and he'll tell you all about it.
Ah.
I can't listen to that guy anymore.
Now, George, where does George live? George.
I don't know. I have no clue.
So it was George that did the whole, over late night. It was George Norway that no.
George Norrie took over Coast to Coast AM after Art Bell quit.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for the first couple of years, he was all right, but like his show seemed to go more into the paranormal weird stuff and just like the goofy paranormal stuff that like everybody just gets a laugh out of instead of talking like the high tech and metaphysical shit that actually has real world applications.
Well, it went from Area 51 to fucking what? Magical fantasy shit is what it went.
Yeah, he kind of like there's that other guy, Clyde Lewis. I think he kind of like saw that Clyde had such a huge following and started, going Clyde's route. And I don't care for Clyde. He's all about that weird ass paranormal shit. I ain't got no interest in it. Oh, I do miss Art Bell. He just had a great on-air personality.
Now, Art Bell was the dude here in Pahrump, right?
Yes.
He's got a double wide over there where he was transmitting to the satellites. I go by that his old place is on Bell Vista Road, and you go by there. It's kind of a main drag, so if you're going the back way from Pahrump to Amargosa Valley, you have to go by it. So I go by it every once in a while. It's pretty cool. All right. It's got to be 100 degrees. Yes. Yeah, I remember that. Fucking late night radio. Art Bale still alive? I don't think so.
No, he died.
I don't think so. He passed away.
He overdosed on painkillers probably about 10 years ago, I think.
Fentanyl, baby.
No, I think it was like what was that stuff that Rush Limbaugh was taking that he got fucked up on really bad?
Oxycodone.
Yeah, something like that.
Oxy.
He would, yeah. Art had like legitimate pain issues, and I guess he just had too much. Yeah, it was about 10 years ago, I think.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me for just a minute. I need to step away to fresh my coffee. I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, was it 2018? It was. I guess it was. I thought it was a long time before that. Well, I know he kind of stopped doing his show before he died. Yeah. Because I remember hearing Nori doing the show back when I was still working at the gas station, and that was like 2013, 2014. Yeah, so Art had retired for a while before he passed away. Yeah, I got into all that late night radio back when I was working night shift at the gas station. Hey, Sing. Long time no see. Get your butt up here. Buckshaw, you got haunted battlefields up there. What's up, Sig?
How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. Here go Wiz.
Hey,
Said I'd try to make it Friday night and Saturday night. That didn't work out as planned, so I figured I'd try to swing by tonight with you.
Cool, cool.
What have you guys been up to?
Oh, a little of this, a little of that.
Living the dream. Nice. Hey, Zach. Hey, Shaw. Emerald. How's it going? What's up?
BAF.
Busy as fuck.
Yes,
Yeah. I hear you. And the sad thing is all this extra time I'm putting in and all these extra jobs I'm doing, I'm really not earning that much more than I was a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
that's inflation for you.
Yeah. It sucks. The cost of everything. The cost of metal is up for roofing, the cost and so I got to try to bump my wages down a little bit to try to get the jobs. Hi, Miriam. How's it going? So, yeah.
Cost of
And then
fuel killing you.
what's that?
Cost of fuel is probably killing you.
Oh God, I don't even want to discuss that. $4.19 a gallon is what I've been paying. It's yeah. I'll tell you this much: the diesel sets. I'm just driving the little half-ton two-wheel drive around. That diesel sets. It hasn't been moved around besides to go get a little topsoil for some planters.
Oh,
But and if they're over 20 miles away, I started putting a fuel surcharge in with the bids, depending on how many days I think I'll be going down there.
right.
It's getting out of control. And then still doing the part-time gig driving cement truck. They can't find any drivers. If for the last 4 months, I was their only driver through 2 of the plants of their 3 plants. Yeah. And I was just doing it part-time and I was still getting 40 hours a week. And that was my side job. Needless to say, John didn't, or Sing, well, John, you all know my name anyways. John didn't get a whole lot of sleep for the past several months. No sleep in days. It's what I need, Zach.
Who's that guy?
Hey, how's it going, Don?
Dude, where you been?
Oh, dude, living the
Thought you were
dream.
going to die in the cab of a truck.
So did I.
Yeah, that's
Actually,
what we've been thinking.
Dude, I get it, though.
It's
You got to make fucking hay when the sun's shining, baby.
right.
Good to see you, brother.
Right. Yeah, good to see you all too. Yeah, you as well, Don. Well, and they're just having so much trouble finding drivers. If I wouldn't have been hauling cement, I was just telling Emerald and Canoe and the rest of them that 2 of their 3 plants, I was their only driver.
Fuck.
Yep.
That sounds fun.
I hope you're charging the shit out of them for this.
I should have charged them more. They actually bumped me up and they gave me they actually set me down and they're like, you saved us, because they said the last 3 months they said that they would have had to send home office people and everything, and they're like, you kept this going. So like anything I want, topsoil, all that.
2 words. Cash money.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, and especially since I found out they're a $1.3 million a year revenue stream with the 3 plants.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's like I want a bonus.
I would, dude. You got to stop thinking that these people can't afford this because they can.
Right. And when I heard that about 2 weeks ago, I decided to stop going in quite as much until they start offering more.
Say, I want a retroactive bonus over the last 12 months for $1 an hour.
Right. Right. Well,
There's
My
no
bad.
need to be a prick about it either. Tell them, just say, listen, I like doing what I'm doing here. I want to work with you guys. I want us both to be successful, but you got to pay me, bitch.
Yep. And it was 14 months ago this month. It's been right at around 14 months. Actually, I think tomorrow it'll be right at 14 months that I went in and wasn't even looking for a job because I was doing my own thing. And they asked me if I'd be interested in filling in for a little bit as a driver. So
Okay, just tell them, say, I filled in and for a little bit, and they just need to just add some zeros to the checks. We'll all be happy and successful, and everybody will get what they want. Just keep those checks flowing.
Yep. Especially with what they're taking out. Oh, good God. It's been a while since I've gotten that, since I've gotten a check written to me that I didn't have to take my own taxes.
Unless you're doing this on a 1099, they're taking fucking single guy taxes out of your shit.
Oh yeah, and they're taking
single
a
guy
chunk.
Listen, I used to be that guy, that single guy tax guy that made a nice chunk of change, and I discovered that I was funding everybody else's fucking shit. Everybody's shit. I was funding it. My tax dollars was funding everybody's shit, so to speak.
I
decided I need to get me some tax breaks.
Yeah, I had a cousin. She was talking about, we finally got put on Medicaid to help out, and I ticked her off because I was like, "You're welcome," because I think I'm paying for that Medicaid.
Exactly.
You
are.
God. Oh yeah. I don't even. Yeah.
I know what they're taking out of your check, and it is fucking. It is a raping.
Yep.
You get more taken out of your check than I do. I know that for a fact because you're a 40-plus-year-old single guy. Am I not mistaken? That owns your own thing, and you're doing this on W-2.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're not taking pre-tax dollars out of your shit like they are mine, dude. You have no idea how much money they take pre-tax out of my shit.
Oh, I bet.
All my health care is pre-tax. All my retirement is pre-tax. I mean, thousands.
Nice. Yeah, and I think if I keep doing this, I'm going to have to do some type of thing like that to try to get, because I'm paying for my own health care. Or, I pay for my own
like that right now. Honestly. I mean, honestly, I don't. If you're doing all of that, then you should be have an LLC set up. Your health care should be paid for by your LLC pre-tax. Your accountant should be managing that for you.
And all that I do get written off, all my insurance, everything.
Right. All of that is straight off the top. All of it. On top of that, any kind of employees that you want to bring on board, or any kind of additional benefits that you want to give yourself, like a SEP. Do you know what a SEP is?
I do not.
SEP is a single employee pension program. A SEP is a 401k for for a single guy in his LLC.
Okay. Is that what they because my accountant had me put in a personalized savings through
There
the,
you go.
and it's some percentage
And
that,
and you
and
could put, did you know, but your accountant didn't tell you this, you could put up to $50,000 a year into that.
oh no, she didn't tell me that.
It isn't, and the reason a SEP is so cool, I'm in a SEP. I have a SEP. It's a 401k. It's an IRA type of account. Same as a 401k, same as a 503b. There's a lot of different types of tax deferred accounts here. A SEP is one of those. And so, as a sole proprietor in an LLC, you can set yourself up a SEP. Say you go up to Fidelity and tell them, I want a SEP. And you can start contributing to them along the rules, the set rules of the SEP. And one of the set rules of the SEP is that you have this very massive, huge amount of money that you can put in, or your company can put in for you. So you can have the company actually make this contribution for you. The downside of a SEP is you got to have the same rules for everybody in the company. So if there's 2 people in the company, you got to have the same rules for 2 people. If there's 4 people in the company, you got to have the same rules for 4 people. If there's 4,000 people in the company, then you got to have, then SEP goes out the window. Do you understand where I'm going with this?
Yep, I got you,
dude. And don't take my advice. Listen, I am not.
Sorry.
Sorry, call another goat. Anyway,
no, and I like the lady that takes care of my taxes, and I'll definitely bring it up to her though. Ask her about, like, how much can I push that to, putting up, and to catch up, because I spent a lot of years paying a lot of stuff off. But to me, that was part of retirement too. I don't know anything on vehicles. I don't know anything on the house. I got all that paid off. So
going into retirement with 0 debt is big thing. Huge. That's fucking like, goal number 1.
Yep.
House paid off, credit cards paid off, cars paid off, everything paid off. That way I don't have this overhanging fucking debt.
Right.
But that's part of good retirement planning. So,
right.
and I'm sure your girl is wonderful with your taxes.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's on point. She knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
I was left fending for myself, honestly. So I had to educate myself, get myself the right professionals, and of course they gouged me for the first couple of years. Finally found a decent fucking accountant. Now she's gone. So I don't know. If you've got one you like, hold on to her. Because you can't get them anymore. They don't make them.
No, I was actually, I was through a firm when I first started, and I was getting raked over the coals by that firm on cost.
Yeah. That's what happens. Then you learn that you're getting fucked and you find a better one.
Yep. And this lady actually worked for not the firm I was through, but another little firm. And she went on her own, and she handles a couple of the farmers and then several businesses local. She's a small, she handles like maybe 10 businesses total. And that's enough to keep her busy. So
that's all she wants to do. I know lots of them like that. Yep.
And I like that, because I'm not just a number. I'm actually a person with a name that way.
My accountant does. I got referred to her by a church that I did work for, that I put in a voice over IP phone for.
Nice.
She worked for them. She does 4 other churches and me, and that's it. So
nice.
I'm happy with that.
Yep. I think it gives them more time to, work out the little details. I mean, even as a business expense, even though my house isn't tied to the business, and because now everything's separated with an LLC, even though my house isn't or classified as part of my business, I still like take calls and and do bids and stuff here. So when I put new windows in, she was able to come up with a write-off on that.
And she should be able to, if you're taking any kind of phone calls, going to the bathroom during the day, anything for business, you should be able to charge a percentage of your mortgage, your expenses, your home expenses. You'll get a percentage. And it may be a small percentage. Maybe it's 5%.
It's something,
but it's across the board. So
I'm actually like with my internet, and a lot of people give me guff because I got the big $100 package, but I'm able to actually write a lot of that off.
Dude, I write all my internet off. I have 3
Right.
different internet sources.
Nice.
T-Mobile, Verizon, and now Starlink. That's probably $400 a month in internet I write off.
Nice.
Well, Starlink just jacked me up.
Oh,
It just went
no.
from $99 to fucking 105. And T-Mobile just jacked me up. My 2-year thing is over, and so all your special deals are over. No, they're not. So I had to spend some time on the phone with the T-Mobile representative to explain to her just how special I am. We came to a good conclusion. I felt it was a little less expensive than what I had previously been paying, but I felt I got a little more value out of it. So it's all good. It's all good. Now that I have Starlink, I'm not so dependent on 4G data movement.
Is that Starlink pretty consistent though, or is it still spotty? Or
Very consistent, more consistent than cellular data, much more consistent and faster.
How about delay?
Again, faster. I just did a speed test a few minutes ago. Let me do another speed test here real quick because I do a lot of speed tests. So it's important that I have the right network connection, but I have a latency of 40 milliseconds and a download speed of 131 megabits.
Okay, that latency I like, because that's literally my one pastime is I still do some online gaming, and usually satellite lag will kill you.
Oh my God, you can't do gaming on satellite lag. Dude, I got to
Yep.
tell you, this latency is as good as cable.
Oh
I
yeah,
was getting from cable.
right. And if it's
It's
$99 a month, that's what I pay for mine right now.
$100 a month. $100 a month.
It's not bad.
$500 in equipment, which again, worth it. I set up a PF Sense router that has multiple WAN connections. So one of my internet connections is Starlink, the other one is T-Mobile, and the third one is Visible. So I have literally 3 internet connections going into one firewall and router.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I went a little hog wild when I got hooked up with internet here. I bought all their top gear, so $500 is not that much for gear. Not that much at all.
Time for pie.
Kind of pie is it this time?
Peach.
Peach.
I'm surprised he has pie.
I know.
Famine recently.
My apple tree and peach tree are blooming. The cherry tree I think is starting to. The pear tree is the only one I'm having trouble with. The plum tree is going insane, but the pear tree is the only one I'm having trouble with. Only one of the types of pears on that 4-in-1 survived.
Oh wow.
but all the others, they pulled out of it. I thought they were dead. Last year they didn't do anything. I went ahead and left them in the ground, and this year they're just taking off.
Last year they probably got the roots under them.
Yeah, it was weird because I mean, they were like, they hardly even leafed out. There was like a couple leaves on the entire trees. So I thought they were dead. And this year, nope, they're taking off like crazy. They just finally got it, like you say, got their root system going.
Mhm. Yeah, I had to thin out my peach trees. There's so many peaches, I had to thin them out so we get some decent size house. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my sisters, they're all excited. They're like, well, when those things get big enough, you need to let us know because they want to come up here and do a bunch of canning. And I was like, that works for me. Get all the nieces and nephews up here. We'll pick them and everybody takes them home
and brings pie back.
Ah.
Brings back pie. Take all the peaches home you want. Just bring back pie.
I'm looking forward to the cherries and the grapes, harvesting those because the girls make jellies and then they make a cherry syrup for pancakes.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And that stuff is good. The grape syrup's pretty good too, but that cherry syrup they make, holy cow.
Wow. Your trees are doing good, Colonel Shaw?
Yeah. Nice. Sorry, guys. I was locked into conversation there, and I forgot to look at chat. It's been a while since I've been on. I forgot the name of the game.
Yeah,
saw Miriam in here. Shaw.
Yeah. Turn around and all my trees are doing really well. Like I said, this is just second year in the orchard for most of them. So nice. I don't have a lot of expectations for my fruit trees, but they're leafing up pretty good this year. It looks like they're going to be growing pretty well. So,
nice.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. Yes, sir.
I found a 2.5 acres. I decided I'm not going to get acreage. I'm just going to stick with this big lot and then the extra lots because I found 2.5 acres and they're wanting 35,000 for it. It had a well on it, but still 35 is too much. Way too much.
Right.
I mean, I get it.
Prices.
Oh, I tell you what, Colorado is going insane right now with prices. Even in southern Colorado, there was places where you used to be able to buy like an acre for like $500, and this is like 5-6 years ago. And now those little acre plots down there, and it's all sand. I mean, there's nothing around, and you're lucky if you can find water on that acre. Most of them have to haul water, and those things are going for $3,000 for 1 acre.
Wow.
Battery says 35,000 for 2.5 acres is awesome. With the what? Yeah, they're over there. Yeah, Colorado's gaining on the West Coast, though. Don't know what it is because they get out here and they're so ticked off that it's not the mountains. They keep moving out here. All the
Target
east and what's that?
Just target practice. That's all they are.
Yeah. Well, and we've got the Front Range people moving out to these little towns. My little town, it had 500 when I moved here and everything, and it's already up to 575 within just a few years. And there are 32 new home construction permits on the board right now in this little tiny town.
Wow.
Yeah, it's climbing like crazy. I've got my sister talked into because they're speculating that we'll be at about 1,000 people within the next 5 to 10 years, and we'll double in size, and definitely within the next 10. And they're thinking the next 5. So I've got my sister finally convinced to put a little grocery store here.
Oh
Yeah, she's buying a bar and grill in the town in Nebraska she lives in, and and they had pretty good money anyways, and then her husband passed away, and they had, even with the money they already had, there was a lot of life insurance, so she's expanding her business, I guess would be a way to put it.
yeah. Right.
She's the one that I don't know if I came out. She literally bought an entire rock shop, a slab saw, the 14-inch slab saw, a bunch of trim saws, the wheel polishers. She bought an entire rock shop that filled the back of an 8-foot bed of a pickup for $150 at an auction.
Wow.
Yeah. And that slab saw she got was a $3,200 slab saw. I looked it up online. It's like, holy crap. I told her I'd double her money, but she won't sell it.
Right.
I told her, I was like, because it was past me, and she lives about 2 hours north of me, and she was down 2 hours south of me where my other sister lives. And I was telling her, I was like, you don't even have to bring it all the way home. Just bring it here. I'll double your money right now and everything. She just laughed. It's like, I take that as a no.
Wow. Yeah, I was looking into maybe getting a wet saw because I got access to all this marble, and I'm gonna want to
Nice.
try. I'm gonna try and incorporate it. Found a couple dumpsters, these countertop places, and they load these dumpsters up with all sorts of stuff. I mean, you can't dig very much, obviously, because the shit's so damn heavy.
But if you cut like small mosaics, like little, I mean, you could do 1 inch by 1 inch by 8 inch, 1 inch by 12 inch, even with a lot of the pieces I got. If you could cut that out for like shower stalls and stuff like that, just a little tile, you can make some money.
Well, the pieces I'm getting out of there are usually like 2 foot by 3 foot or bigger.
Oh, wow.
There's some of it that's smaller, like backsplashes and stuff like that.
Yep.
And man, I was just like, dude, if I had a tile saw, you know what I'm saying, a wet saw, I could really, do some really cool shit with it.
There's a place it's about 20 miles from me in a bigger town, and they do granite and marble. They do all the cutting on it, and they get granite locally, and then the marble they order in. They've even got like Italian marble. I was trying to get because they do the installs also. I was trying to get the cutouts for like sinks and the stovetops and stuff. And they said that they already actually have a guy that's contracted out to where that's what he does, is cuts little, because it's like 2-inch thick stuff. And he said he cuts it out into little slivers and then goes and puts in showers with it.
Oh, wow. Right.
Yep. And he just cuts them, just whatever the depth is, like the 2 inches, he cuts them in tiles like that. And then he just cuts them at like 3/8 of an inch thick, I guess, and just mounts them on the wall as tile.
Oh, wow.
Pretty smart, because he's using everything there is, and he's getting, I mean, they basically just toss it out, so he's getting a heck of a rate.
Right. Yeah, a lot of the stuff I'm getting is like an inch thick, maybe 1.5 inches at the thickest. But
Nice.
it's so hard to move any sizable pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the smaller sink cutouts are about the max you could really move with that stuff. It's so dense. It's so insanely heavy. I helped haul in a countertop that was a 20-foot long countertop. It was a bar top. So it was 3.5 foot wide, and that thing, they have those suction cups on it. And there was one of us on each side about every 3 foot. And that thing was still heavy.
Right.
And that's with like 15 guys. Hey, Brian. Hey, Battery.
Brian Two Blaze, welcome in. So, oh man, I'm just beat. We moved over about 2 tons of wood chips today.
Oh, that reminds me. I got tomorrow off and hopefully Wednesday off, and I got to cut down some trees. So, and before my cousin's nephew gets too far along with the stump grinder, I sold him. One of the deals was I need to borrow it when I'm ready to do mine, because he really needed that stump grinder. And I told him, I was like, well, I got to do mine. You know, I'm going to have 6 stumps to do. I get these trees down, and that was part of the deal. I sold it to him cheap, and then I still get to use it with that. So before he gets too busy, I want to get these down and get those stumps ground.
Right.
And then hopefully have a chance to pulling the metal siding off of here, and I think I'm going to stucco it. That metal siding's just like a heater during the summer.
Badass. Oh man, wow, things are just moving so quick now.
Nice.
I'll tell you what, today felt so much better than the last week. To be honest with you. It was really weird how good it felt today. Just not for any reason except for it just felt better. Like the environment was happier, you know?
Yep. We've been hitting 90-degree days, and then turn around Friday night, we've got blizzard warnings because it's supposed to drop down to 30 degrees with a lot of moisture moving in. They're talking about blizzard warnings for Friday night.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm. A late May blizzard warning. Isn't that insane?
That is insane, dude. This is crazy.
Yep.
Oh, God.
My trees are going to hate that. I just hope it's not a lot of snow. I hope it's mostly rain and then turns to snow late, because if it's a wet snow, it's going to bust every one of my little trees.
Well, might want to start building a frame around them.
That's, yeah. I bought some black plastic. I think I might just toss it over just in case it does.
Right. That sucks, dude. That's so bad.
Yep. Right, Shaw, the Egyptians. Well, not only the Egyptians, I mean, there's places in South America, what they were able to do, I still think there's no way, nothing against the ancient people of those areas, but there is no way that with the tools they say they did with it, with bronze tools, they were able to do some of the stuff they did. There's just no way.
I think they made the granite.
I actually, yeah, we've talked about this, and I agree in a way, because I think they had different things figured out. I think they were more advanced in certain ways than we give them credit for, and I think a lot of it was energy. But I think there was some civilization long ago that was way more advanced than what we give them credit for.
No, I'm just I'm of the mind that I think they had sound frequency energy.
Yeah.
They knew how to manipulate sound energy, sound
Yep.
waves and stuff like that to do their work.
Well, even with the movement, I mean, with moving a lot of those stones and setting them in place. Hi, Naban. Welcome into chat.
Yeah, welcome in, Niban. And
Right, Shaw. Even with our diamond cutters, we cannot. There is no, like with the coring they did, there are no swirl marks. There's no tooling marks. And right now we have diamond bits that'll bore, and they still leave microscopic little boring marks in it. And none of that exists on some of those old stones.
hey, Jake.
Where'd Don go?
Who knows?
Lost to the desert.
Glad to see
Yeah,
everybody's coming back in. That's good to see.
just an FYI, I'm going to be taking off in about 15 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
chores.
I can't stay late either. I gotta be up not quite as early, but early. At least it's not 4 o'clock. God, I'm not a morning person, and the 4 a.m.ers were killing me. Early. At least it's not 4 o'clock. God, I'm not a morning person, and the
Hey, there's that guy again.
Hey, Don. Welcome back.
What's up, Don?
It's another day in Happy Land, baby.
What time is it?
It's time for pie.
No, we already had pie.
Okay. Well, then that would mean that it's time for fire in a bowl.
Fire in the bowl. That's right. Yeah, I seen your big old G-Shock.
Take my what? Big old head of this.
Yeah, big old hit.
Right, Shaw.
Brought to you by Sausage Gravy Biscuit Farms.
.com.
Colonel Shaw says
28,000 years. Carbon 13. Yeah, I thought we figured out how they did that whole, making holes in granite and shit. With the Incas and stuff, with Machu Picchu and shit. I thought that we had that. I thought we knew what was up there. Don't we?
Yeah, they use the sound frequency on their stuff.
You mean what historians say, or what we've talked about here?
Thought that we understood how they got the rocks to fit together so closely as they did. And oh, by the way, break. I need to Canoes. What happened? How much do you need for your water heater, Mr. Canoes?
Is my mic working? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I'm looking at to get a brand new water heater that will fit my setup, brand new at all the big box stores, they're going for anywhere from $500 to $600.
Wow.
And then I need to have, a licensed bonded plumber install it because I have no idea how to do that. So
I can get a 40-gallon natural gas one here, and they're pricier than the electrics, but I can get a 40-gallon for $328 at Home Depot here.
see, that's exactly what I'm looking for size-wise, is a 40-gallon gas-powered tank that'll fit, a 60-inch tank, the height.
Oh,
That's what it's set up for.
But that shows, like, there you might be able to get a heater cheaper, but the hot water heater is more expensive. Here, our heaters and AC units are more expensive, but we could get the hot water, just it's amazing state to state, even some of the differences.
Yeah. And the prices fluctuate on market conditions too. Like, okay, around by me, the big box stores you can get it. There's the Home Depot, the Lowe's, and Menards. And I saw I should have gotten it back before I had lost my job. But they had Menards had a 40-inch or a 40-gallon tank, gas, 60-inch tall, perfect for what I need. They had one for $430, I think.
Nice. And now that $70 makes a difference.
Yep.
So how much do you have put together so far?
Just the 110 that I've raised on the GoFundMe so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had a barbecue a couple weekends ago and had all the family over and everything. And we kicked back in the backyard, had a barbecue. I bought 2 10-pound tubes of hamburger from Walmart that used to cost $20 per 10-pound tube. I paid $36.99 per 10-pound tube.
Oh, what?
Wow.
Yep.
Does like the beef come out and unwrap itself and then like give you a blowjob too?
I know.
Happy ending.
I-
I better for that kind of beef. I better be getting a happy ending.
Yeah.
And it better be filet mignon, or at least call itself filet mignon.
Right.
I got up there and paid for it, and it was so high. And all I got is chips, buns, some ketchup, some mustard, and then the hamburger. And it's like, God, that's like almost twice as much as I expected. I was looking at my receipt, and I told everybody that I was like, from now on, I'm going straight to the butcher to get it. If I'm going to pay that extra money, I'm going to a local butcher to buy it. And I know it's locally grown.
Well, we would buy our hamburger from a local butcher, and they do a real good job of it. But we haven't seen $20 for, what'd you say, 10 pounds? We haven't seen $20 for 10 pounds in years. Okay, it's always been closer to like $26 or $28 for 10 pounds minimum. Sometimes
Really?
closer to 32 for 10 pounds, but it's decent ground round. I mean, it's not your Walmart tube.
Right. Yep. And that's just it. And for that $36, I could get 10 pounds, just like you say, from the local place. And like you say, it's a nice ground round. Carbon tax, right, Shaw? The cow fart tax.
I like Jason's idea. You ought to comp canoes a couple of loads of topsoil and let him flip that in Ohio. That'd bring top dollar there in Ohio. And that way we could get him into his hot water heater faster.
There we go.
Faster.
Some of this
Jason,
sandy
that's thinking right there. That's fucking out of the box.
And I know this sandy loam, a lot of people drive a long ways to get some of this sandy loam if they've got a lot of clay content in their soil. We get a lot of people even coming up from Oklahoma around this area to get a hold of this sandy loam.
The only problem is canoes is walking. So, he's carrying 5 pounds at a time from Ohio to Colorado.
Might take a day or two.
Might take a day or two. It's a long-term investment.
Well, I've got access to a 40-foot end dump, so I think it holds 22 yards.
You reckon he could strap that to his bike somewhere?
All right. You know what?
I'm not
Yeah, but
sure about that one.
Yeah, but you actually could probably order it and buy it and then have it picked up at a store in Ohio.
Bag it up. Like
It's
50
purchased
pound
there.
bags.
What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about. Oh, I thought you were talking about the hot water heater.
No, the soil.
Oh, the soil, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to get him to we're trying to flip topsoil for weed for crack for crack for plumbing supplies.
Oh,
So
okay.
Now see, in the big truck in that old well, if I took the International, it gets a little better fuel mileage, but in that old Mac that I've been driving, that'd probably be like $3,000 worth of fuel to get it there. The rate it's going.
it'd be
That thing
cheaper
gets
to buy the fucking to buy 3 of the water heaters. It'd be cheaper to buy 3 of the water heaters than it would
yeah.
just to put gas in your truck.
Right.
That thing literally gets like 6 miles to the gallon. It's got a big old hoss of a motor. I mean, I can fill that in dump with granite, which we have before. Granite chunks, the broken up granite for the cement, and it won't even lug it going up hills because I mean that's a 550 horse cat in it. Or that one's got the Mac in it. I guess the International's got the cat, and it's only 400 horse. But yeah, that 550 horse though, it's got a lot of power, but it sucks down, and it's only got a 10 speed, so you know you don't have those higher range of gears once you get going.
So it's a low torque. It's a low end, high torque, high horsepower. You can just say 550. Fuck, that is a lot of horsepower.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
But fuck,
this
400
thing's so
is a lot
low
of
gear.
horsepower. I mean, I see a lot of cats, diesels that don't have 400 horses. So
Yep.
yeah, that's a lot of horsepower.
And this has got the third axle in the back for the heavy loads.
Right.
Yep. So it's a hauler. It's made to
Battery,
haul
I
heavy
own
stuff.
a huge motorhome that only gets a 5.5 miles to the gallon when I'm towing my Jeep. So yeah, I get it.
Right.
I won't buy $5 gas for that RV. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do it.
That's what I was telling Emerald and Canoe earlier. My diesel sets right now. It's setting. I drive the half ton and use my little trailers.
I wanted to, the reason I popped off here, I was trying to get OBS to work for me. I wanted to show you my solar shed setup. I've come a long way in that.
Nice.
But I actually got my first 7 panels to power my inverter today, 250 volts of PV power in. So I'm pretty excited about how it's going.
See, that's my main disappointment about deciding not to get the acreage, because where I am in town, there's enough trees all through here to where I'd never get enough sun to power any solar. So
yeah, you know what? I mean, I don't know how deep you are in the woods, and I get that because I was deep in the woods. But there are things you can do if you really want it. You know, put it on top of the roof, put it, clear out some trees. You can haul a lot of PV power a long distance away from the house. I'm just saying.
true.
I mean, I've got mine. I got 100 feet of cable, of 10 gauge cable going from my panels that are just kind of on the ground right now into my shed, which is still yet another 200 feet from the house.
Okay.
So it's the 6 gauge, it's the 6.3 stuff or the 4/0 stuff that's going to cost me the serious money, the $1,000 per run, and I'm going to need 3 runs of that to go from I've got a Generac 225 amp auto transfer switch.
Can you do the aluminum with the solar, or do you have to do the copper wiring?
Well, I can do aluminum, but I just have to make the gauge twice as big.
Right.
So in other words, if I were to do a 2/0 copper, that same run, same voltage, same current, is covered under code by a 4/0 aluminum.
I got you.
So,
Yeah.
but I'm
And that
not.
copper
I'm
is
learning.
pricey.
I'm still learning about that.
And that where you had to go with the 2 aluminum and everything, and you'd still save money. I bet you doing the 2 aluminum instead of the 4 copper. That aluminum is so much cheaper.
Yep. I've
But
already priced it. The aluminum's
the
already cheaper. Yep.
Yep. And they say the copper, transfers better. So I don't know.
For
It's
DC stranded,
225
yeah.
amps. It's 225 amps at 240 volts. I mean, it's fucking high voltage no matter how you slice it.
Right.
Yeah. I know around here we use the aluminum, the variable aluminum everywhere.
I'll use the aluminum.
Yeah.
I'll use the aluminum. The fucking copper is just, the price of copper now is just.
Oh, you're looking at you're looking at $30-$35 a foot for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I got 300-foot runs I'm gonna have to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and it's bad enough with that aluminum. That aluminum, with the 2s and the 4s, you're looking at $5 to $10 a foot. But it's in the long run, it's a crap load cheaper.
do you want to say something, Wiz? Do you have something?
Oh, no. I'm good.
But you're right, Zane. And it's just that it's going to go from costing me $3,000 to costing me $2,000.
Yep.
But
to put in the shop, the city's trying to push me into because this little town here has copper. They've got it in their books that you got to use copper, and I've got to go 70 feet from the house to the shop, and that 70 feet is going to be killer, and I don't want to do copper.
yeah, but even the National Electrical Code, NEC, says that you can, if you do the right gauge, you can substitute aluminum for copper.
Mm-hmm. And it's even that way in that International Building Code book that they just recently adopted because of all these Front Range people we're getting around here. But these Front Range people are like, oh, we always did copper up there, so they want to do copper down here. It's like, yeah, but we're not $1 million homes, people. These are regular people out here.
Fire in the bowl.
Fire in the bowl.
Last one for me. It's trash night. I gotta go fill trash cans and trash bags, haul it out to the street. I got lots. They changed the trash procedure here in my town. Now, instead of having bulk night once a month, now they allow you to put out some bulk every week. They limit it to 4 items, so it's kind of sucky, but it is what it is.
50 feet of 8-gauge copper for $47. I find that hard to believe. Battery saying he can get 50 feet of 8-gauge, 8-AUG copper wire for $47.
Well, maybe he bought it before the prices skyrocketed.
Okay. God, I can't even get it. I can't even get it that cheap for 10 for running a 220, a smaller 220.
So I just bought 4 lengths of 15 feet, 8-gauge copper. 1 green, 1 red, 1 black, 1 white. 15 feet of 8-gauge copper cost me $87.
Yep.
Now that's 4 segments of 15 feet. But it's still 15 feet, 15, 30, 60 feet of 8-gauge cost me $87.
Well, for that 10 that I put in to run for my mom's house to put in a new double oven for her, that 10, I think I bought a roll. It was like 35 or 40 feet, and it was that orange that they got that's supposed to be a little longer lasting. Yeah, it's supposed to be a little thicker insulation and stuff. And that was right around 100.
I think is 10 gauge. Go ahead.
And that was right around $100 for like 40 foot of it or whatever.
Yeah, it ain't cheap. None of it's cheap. Fuck no, it's cheap.
Only thing I'm happy about is I've got 3 rolls of the 14.2 and 2 rolls of the 12.2 that I bought probably about 10 years ago, and I've still got the full rolls of it. And I'm so happy I got that for my shop.
Just
All right,
hold
folks,
on to it. Don't let the mice get in it.
I got to take off.
Oh, yeah.
So thanks for
Okay,
coming
right
in,
on.
everybody. Wiz, you guys keep it going as long as you want. I'm out.
Take care, Canoes.
Yeah, man.
Be cool, brother.
Doing well, Paige.
Yeah, I bought all my electrical. I've got the full breaker box, and it's a 32 breaker box,
Nice.
200 amp. It's a big box, and I got all that years ago, and I'd be paying 3 or 4 times what I paid for it
Yes, you would.
if I had. So
Now, what
yeah.
is? Can I ask what that's for? Are you building your own? Are you doing your own thing there, or what's up?
the shop, and I want to put an apartment above the shop. I just want either to the side, a small unit like house to the side of the shop. It built in 125 20 maybe whatever foot section. I don't want a big place, so I'm just going to do that with the shop, and then that way I get up, and if I'm going to do something in the shop, if it's winter, I got to work on something in the shop, I don't even have to go outside. I can just go into the shop.
You ain't even got to put pants on.
Exactly. Yep. And that's my goal.
I wanted that so bad. I wanted that so bad because that would keep my initial capital outlay to a minimum, and that would also keep my monthly recurring. If I were to finance that down to a minimum. Turns out there ain't a bank on the planet that'll finance that.
Nope.
And because it's not going to be the code, and they're not going to build living space over a garage for you. It's just they won't finance it for you.
Nope.
They won't, especially if you don't already have a place on the property. In other words, if you're building on raw property, they're even less inclined. Trust me, I tried that.
Yep. And that's why my bad. That's part of the reason why I'm still doing the cement, because when I pour the cement floor, I'll be able to get all my cement at cost. So it's kind of a win-win on sticking around doing the cement for a little while longer.
That is awesome. I know a guy. As a matter of fact, there's a guy that's my neighbor. He's about 1.5 miles over. He's got 10 acres, and he started with what had to have been a 16-foot camper trailer and a pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not joking. And by his lonesome, over the years, put fence around it, put solar panels on it, built a garage out of 2 40-foot containers with a cover over them, between them. He's now building a house. And the wife asked one time, she says, why is he going so slow on the house? I said, if he's smart, he's financing the house out of his own pocket. That way he has no fucking mortgage payment to go to when he's done with the house.
Right.
Yep.
Which he probably is, because it's going kind of slow, but I've watched him do his thing, startup homestead kind of deal. And it's really been awesome. It's really been awesome. He's put more sweat equity into it than I have put into mine. Mine was pretty much just a cash endeavor for me. I didn't really put a lot of sweat equity into it. He, on the other hand, did. And I got a lot of respect for that. You're doing the same. Sweat equity.
That's what saved me money.
I like that. Doers, not talkers. Doers. People that do. That's what I was saying about Miriam earlier. She's a doer. Oh, okay. Well, I have that effect on people. What can I say?
Right. Oh man.
There he is. How are you, sir? Glad to have you back.
Oops. Anyways, I was starting to say that I tell a lot of people that my house sets it's around 160 now, and I've only got about 40 cash invested into it with materials, and then I bought it cheap. But the way you're talking about sweat equity, I didn't pay any labor, so that's why I've got so little into it, where it seems like it's worth way more than it should be.
That's $120,000 in equity is all that is. It's just fucking equity, baby.
Yeah.
And that kind of shit, you can take that straight to the bank.
Yep. And I'm actually working with a couple guys that own several lots. Right now we're putting houses up on those, and then we're going to turn around and possibly on one of mine put a house up, and then we're just trying to sell them since the market's so high.
Well, yes, market is very high, but the sales of said market has fallen off a cliff because interest rates have went past 5% on a 30-year fixed mortgage. People have started getting arms again. Are you old enough to remember when people would lose their fucking shirts on arms?
No.
Oh my God. Early 90s, I think. Early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. People were buying homes on arms. 7-year adjustable, 5-year adjustable.
Oh God. Yep. Okay. I remember those. My parents got locked into one of those.
Oh yeah. People lost their fucking testicles doing that shit.
Yep. My parents lucked out because they refinanced through a local bank, and we'd lived in the same area forever. So they were able to.
People, it's a great tool for people to use. It really is, especially in times like this where fucking interest rates are going through the ceiling. So you can take a little bit of short-term pain to gather, to take advantage of the market and this, that, and the other thing. I get that, but it has to be treated like what it is. It's a loaded fucking gun. I mean, and if your parents treated it like that and did the right thing, it's a fantastic tool to get you what you need. It is. Mm-hmm. But it's dangerous as fuck. Sorry, I'm just,
Well, the house that my parents bought in the town, it's a town of about 4,000 or 5,000, and they bought this house in 90, would have been 91, 92. They paid 25,000 for it. It just recently sold again, and it hasn't had anything updated since a remodel I did on it in 99. And because I just did a complete gut and remodel in 99 for them, and it hasn't had anything else done to it. It just recently sold for $235,000.
See?
Yeah. Again, they didn't sell it for that. They sold it, or that happened years ago. But yeah,
that's just 100% appreciation in less than 20 years.
It's insane.
It is.
And right now here in Fleming, we've already had 20 new houses last year go in. We've got 35 on the books, permits on the books to go in here again, because the people from the Front Range are selling their houses to people from out of state, and then they're moving out here and buying cash and paying cash because they got so much for theirs.
Everybody is moving to someplace cheaper.
Yep.
And they all are. And they just and that's been a fairly consistent theme throughout the modern United States.
Yeah. And I don't mind it, but the fact of I like only having 500 people in this town. I don't
Yeah.
like the thought of
Yeah,
in
yeah.
5 years we're going to double.
And you don't want to see Californians there. You don't want to see people that don't think like you, people that are not your family, that are not your friends, people that are not, that don't worship like you. You don't want to see them there. You don't.
And no offense to, and really, and even that, all that I don't mind. It's the politics of it, like with the building codes and stuff like that they're bringing, and they're voting for, different building codes. Like now, I can't. The shop I own, material wise, is a pole barn. Now I can't put a pole barn in town because they got it all changed around.
Oh,
To where
wow.
now it's got to be on a foundation. So right now I've been building the posts and stuff for a steel building to try to convert that over. So I'm going to have to dump the wood trusses and, dump them off on somebody, try to regain some of my money. I'll still be able to use the wood for the girts and for the purlins, but it's got to be a steel framed, the main frame. And so the beams and the posts have got to be steel, and they've got to have steel connections at certain points, but I can still use the wood in between.
So let me ask a kind of a stupid question. Do you not see civilization running up on you real fast?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's getting very crowded very quick.
But you're gonna stand and fight, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
A lot of that is
I ran
all
like
my
a little
families.
bitch.
All my
I
families
ran like a
within.
bitch. Yep.
Yeah.
It's your family. Exactly.
I live basically right in the center, so any direction I drive within an hour or two, I can pretty much see all my family. So
That's cool.
yeah. So I mean, I've got some that live like in Arizona, some in Montana, Wyoming, way up into Wyoming. I mean, I'm only actually about 20 minutes from the Wyoming border, but they're way up northwest. So
well, then that does give you some leeway. In other words, you could stay within the realm, the relative realm and comfort of the arms of your family and still get away from the what sounds like a harsh regulatory environment in your little town. You could get out to the to the range or to the woods, what I always call the woods. Get out to the woods and do your own thing. The beauty of the United States is, and this is just my humble opinion, there's always deep enough woods for you to go out and buy and be far enough away to do your own thing.
Yep.
Other countries don't really have that still. We still got that.
Well, and see, here I gave up on getting the acreage. There's just no way. 2.5 acres, the guy was wanting 35,000 for it. But I'm not saying that I'm still not looking up in Wyoming. And Wyoming, for that amount, I can buy 60 acres or 80 acres. And I'm not going to build on it right now. But if it gets worse, I've got an escape.
Well, 80 acres to have for 35,000, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking in Idaho, I'm looking in Oregon, and I'm looking in Washington, Eastern. Along that same mountain ridge there, so to speak.
Yep.
So, dude, I'm trying to find multiple spots like that. Little five acre, if I can get them 5 acre spots.
Look in Wyoming, and I will warn you, some of them you're an hour away from any town. I mean, they're way out in the country. Yeah, but they're cheap. Yep.
Well, again, cheap is wonderful. Trust me, I'm a tight ass. I don't like spending any more money than I need to. But I understand the difference between cheap and having value.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking for places that are going to have value for me. So out in the woods is where I want to be. And I want 3 or 4 of those. I'd like to have one in northern Nevada. I'd like to have one in Idaho, and I'd like to have one in Washington. Actually, I'd like to have it in Oregon because, as I believe, there are no property taxes in the state of Oregon.
I think that's how Wyoming is too. I know they don't have state income tax, and I think the property tax also they don't have.
So Nevada has no state property tax or state income tax, excuse me.
Nice.
Which is really why I moved here, to be honest with you.
Yep. Oh, and Colorado has massive state income tax.
Yes, they do. Thank you to all your wonderful California transplants that increased your state income tax.
Yep. Within the last about 15 years, it's just completely changed. And we used to be one of the lowest, and now we're one of the highest. I think we're actually number 7.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a niece there in Colorado Springs, and I've flown into there to see her more than a lot of times over the last 15 years.
Yeah,
I've seen it all along the Front Range there. And I like that area. I really do like that area a lot.
I love the landscape. I love everything about it, but a lot of the new people coming in.
Yeah, fuck people. But they're around like Castle Rock.
Yep.
There's a bunch of outcroppings there. My niece got married there up. If you turn off of 25 at Castle Rock and head towards the range, towards the mountain, there's a
up by Larkspur.
I really don't know what the little town is, but it's a little itty bitty, tiny little fucking town. And she found a church up in there that had a view that was just amazing.
It's a little town called Larkspur, and actually that's where I go to the Renaissance Festival at. They have probably about 20 acres all set up in medieval type things, and all summer long they have a long Renaissance Festival there.
All I remember is I paid for the food and for the venue. The venue was $700.
Yeah.
And the food was $500. And because I paid for it, she bought sausage gravy. She had the chef make sausage gravy biscuits for everybody, and they all loved it. They're at her wedding.
Nice.
Anyway.
Nice.
She did that for me because, well, anyway.
It's a little town set up very much for like kind of a show. It's like touristy, I guess. Not really touristy though. But
it's beautiful. It's small, so there's really nothing to speak of there. You got the little winding roads that wind, from the Front Range, the low points in the Front Range, up the hill there towards the actual mountain. And they wind in between the little foothills there. And there's a bunch of little, and here's why I like it. There's a bunch of little rock outcrops, and they're not little. They're huge when you get up on them. But they look small from Interstate 25. So you can see them from Interstate 25. But when you get up on them, they're massive. They're just rock outcrops coming out of the dirt that I think's cool. Anyway.
And actually,
there. I like that.
And if you go up above there, that's one way to get to that oh God, what do they call that one? When the battle across the Rockies for 4-wheelers, they go north and south.
Pikes Peak.
They go from Pikes Peak and they just like head north. But above Larkspur there's one of that highway. It's just a little highway that takes you on up into the mountains, and you can actually join that road that goes north and south. And it's like there's basically a kind of a few months out of the year passable road.
There's a pass there. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah. And it goes pretty much all the way into Wyoming.
They've got one at Colorado Springs also. There's a pass there.
Yeah.
That kind of goes between in through a valley in the Front Range,
Right.
in the rock. I always thought that I'm just a geology fan, so I always thought that area was very cool.
So you probably like the Red Rock Stadium, how it's cut
I did
out.
very much love the Red Rock Stadium.
Yeah.
Very much.
Anybody that's listening out there, if you ever come to Colorado, go to anything at Red Rocks. The sound reverberating off of that rock is it's an experience.
So you're talking about the one in Colorado Springs, right?
Yep, Red Rocks.
They have concerts there. They have all kinds of shit there. I mean, everything's an event there, really.
Yeah.
And you can drive through. I mean, it's a freebie. You could literally drive through the bitch for nothing.
And I guess basically it's like halfway between Denver and Colorado Springs, which there isn't that much room in between the two anymore. So
is there? Okay. It's been years. It's been years.
When you talk about Castle Rock and all those, how they're expanding and they're expanding north and south, pretty soon it's going to be one long city going all the way north. There's a break between Denver and Castle Rock, and then Castle Rock and Colorado Springs are pretty much adjoined almost now. You got a few miles in between that don't have some type of dealership or something off of 25. And then when you go north, then you've got Loveland, Fort Collins, Greeley, and all those, and it's just one mass of houses and everything.
That's all just northern Denver. Okay. All that shit up there is northern Denver. Now, the space you're talking about south of Denver on 25 along the Front Range to Colorado Springs, there's no more open space. They've put fucking everything that used to be open is now an RV park. Sorry.
Well, yeah, true.
Everything is an RV park now. I swear it is. And that ain't a bad thing. They're nice RV parks. Don't get me wrong. Now that I'm an RV owner, I got a different perspective. But you're right. And I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear. It's going to look like fucking New York to Washington, D.C. It is. It's going to be like the fucking Jersey Turnpike.
Yep. And a lot of people speculate that it's going to be more intense than that because a lot of people are getting off the coast. They say that the people leaving the coastlines is just unseen. You know, they haven't seen anything like it for a long time or ever. And they're just moving inward, I guess. But I think a lot of it is people are getting tired of the politics on the coast, to be honest. It has nothing to do with the coastline. I think they're getting tired of the politics.
It's all part of the Great Resignation. And I know that sounds cliche, but in all honesty, it is. And I'm about to take part of it my damn self.
Yeah.
What's happening is you got a bunch of old guys whose 401k last 6 months ago actually, returned pretty well for them, so they can actually give up their job. That said, when you add to that the now mobility of all this work from home shit, everybody and their brother is work from home now.
That's what's happening to us out here.
So you can people that used to need to be in downtown San Francisco at the Twitter headquarters or in fucking Seattle at the Adobe headquarters, people that used to need to be there, they don't need to be there anymore. They can be anywhere. And that's changing a lot of shit real fast.
Yeah. That's
we've got add that to the fact that all these old guys, all these boomers now are ready to get up off. They're ready to retire, dude. They're ready to give up their jobs. They're ready to get off onto the pensions and the 401ks and start the fucking Medicare. And they don't really give a fuck what the market does or what anything else is doing. They've got their own path. And their path is funded by them. So they're not dependent on a job. So they can go anywhere they want. And I'm one of those guys. So I know what people are doing.
Yeah. And I've got a nephew that he actually works from home, and they're wanting to build a house here in one of these little towns, and we've got a lot of people here that they do work from home. You don't see a lot of driving out of this town. A lot of the new people we're getting, they're all work from home. They can earn those same big wages, and their cost of living's way down living in these little towns.
Bingo. So that means more disposable income for them to, what they should be doing is saving, but they're not. They'll spend.
Oh, yeah.
Will drive up your taxes and drive up the local taxes and this, that, and the other thing. It's the same thing as, the Californians coming to the Front Range 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Yep.
It's the same
In
thing.
3 years, my taxes have doubled.
Yep. So it's a paradigm shift. It really is. It's a lot of, old guy, old way thinking meeting new technology and new delivery of shit.
Yep.
People are drones, and I'm going to tell you this right now. You heard it here first. Drones are going to change the places that people live just as much as remote work does. Here's how. You'll be able to order from a Walmart 50 miles away, and a drone will deliver it to you for $2.
I completely agree. And I see an expansion of actually maybe not even complete drones, but similar to that type of stuff for travel. And you're going to see
personal drones, personal packs, personal transportation. I agree.
And a lot of people think that that's just dumb and they'd never do it. It's like, you think about it. Look at all the money we would save as a country not having the maintenance of all these roads. If that happened, we'd still need some of them, but
literally
we wouldn't need
half of our tax money today goes to fucking infrastructure.
Yep.
One form or another.
And if it's what I'm all for the drones and stuff. I mean, to me, imagine being able to hop in something like that, go straight as the bird flies to get to where you're going, instead of because you've been to Colorado. A lot of our roads weave around, and you don't get from A to B very quick.
Dude, everybody's roads are like that. I mean, that's just the nature of roads. You got to go around. You got to go around physical obstacles. You got to go around property lines. You got to go around infrastructure. I mean, literally the amount of things you got to go around is, so the drones, and I know this is going to sound stupid, but the drones I see as more of a personal liberty thing than anything else. Listen, if I'm 100 miles from anywhere, or if I'm 100 miles from Walmart, I've decided that, what the fuck? There you are, Wiz. I thought you were already here. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, Em. Welcome back.
The drones are going to be able to do a lot of things, not only deliver supplies to you, not only handle your personal transportation, like if you have to go to the emergency room. And I know this because I just flew the helo from Pahrump to Nevada in a heart attack. So I know what that transportation improvement can make. Those can be real life. I won't say life changing. I won't say life saving, but I will say life changing, or at least lifestyle altering.
Well, and you look at how we are now, like with this, when you're talking about drones, and I'll admit it, there's a lot of times I get so much of my stuff online right now where I can go on, click a button, put my card in, click a button, I get it paid for, and it gets dropped off at my front door within a few days.
Yep.
and I don't have to drive up to a store to get it. Is all I really do shopping for on a lot of stuff is immediate items, because
Groceries.
and groceries, yep. And even a lot of my construction stuff I can order online, new tools.
Yep.
I can go through the lumber yard and tell them online what I'm going to need for this next job, and it's all going to be done, or make a call. I don't have to go into these places to pick it up, and everything's got free delivery now. Even places like that, if you buy a package, they'll deliver it to the site.
Yep.
So it's,
I mean, even if you don't have free delivery of a truck of lumber is $80 for me.
yeah,
So
it's not much.
it ain't much. It's nothing. Home Depot will deliver $3,000 worth of lumber for $80.
And when you're looking at like a full package and they're bringing in trusses and all, a big
Shit.
old roll up, you're looking at a couple $100, but you're looking at $30,000 worth of materials. Also, they're dropping off.
Right.
So
Right.
it's
So
minuscule.
dude, totally worth it. Totally
Yeah.
worth it. And highly efficient. I gotta say, across the board.
Yep. And then I just charge that to the customer. I don't pay
course.
for it. So then that's less trailers I have to have, less vehicles I have to pull those trailers, all that. So
I have the Estes freight truck pull right up to my house here in the middle of the fucking desert. Drop off a pallet of fucking 20 solar panels or 4 batteries or a motor or whatever. Right here, bang, in the middle of nowhere. Nowhere.
Yep.
Estes pulls up. Guy drops the fucking tailgate, puts the motor where I wanted to be. Done. Easy.
Yep.
It's amazing.
even the new plants and trees that I ordered this year, I got them off of fastgrowingtrees.com, and even those are being shipped to my front door. I'm not even going into the to the local places. I am for some more roses, because I want to put some more roses in, but I know it sounds weird for a dude, but man, roses are cool. And right now I'm trying to get one of every color, and I've got 12.
Weird.
What's that?
No, it doesn't sound weird for a dude. Sorry.
Okay. But I've got 12 different colors right now, and I'm finding out there's like dozens of different colors of roses. It's amazing how many different colors there are.
I thought there was roses in just about every color. I thought.
Oh yeah.
From white
Well,
to pink and red and black and blue
Yep.
and yellow and and everything in between.
Yeah, exactly. And there's like 4 different blues and like 10 different reds, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
And some of them have multicolor, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nothing wrong
Where'd
with
you
that.
go,
I'll be doing exactly the same thing here in the not too distant future. As a matter of fact, it's a conversation I'm going to have with the wife. I was going to ask her if she wants to grow anything this year, like a herb garden or something. We had a light discussion about that, and I think that's a great idea, to be honest with you. We got water now, and we can set up some irrigation and toss some seeds on the dirt and see what the fuck happens. I'm actually thinking about growing some grass here in the middle of the desert.
Nice.
From what I understand, Bermuda does real good in the heat. But I don't know. They say fescue does real good, and I got a lot of experience with fescue.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I know they consider us the High Plains desert up here with this real sandy loam. Right where I'm at, we're on a clay because I'm way north of everything else. But a lot around here, they have some type of fescue mix. I think it's got like Bermuda, it's got fescue, but they also put clover in with it.
Nice.
And it stays green really well. And I'm just putting in like one. God, it'll probably the part I've got for it, I might expand it, but because right now I've just got a kind of a 20-foot semicircle. But I mean, there's still a lot of landscaping I'm doing, working on it when I get a chance. But I want to do just one area of grass. Everything else I want to have like raised beds and walkways and stuff. So
Let me ask you.
Uh-huh.
So if you're going to put some grass down, or any other kind of anything in the dirt, so to speak, are you going to have year-round irrigation, or what's your irrigation setup going to have to be there? Is it because you get cold up there, so you get some non-growing time there, I guess.
Yep.
Tell me about your growing season.
I'm putting in an underground sprinkler system and drip system for everything. And
Okay.
I've got a 10 uh 10 zone head that I just bought.
Okay.
So I'm switching it to where even like my bushes for the border, because I didn't want a basic privacy fence. So I put in a wire fence, and then I'm getting willows. They're called Austrey willows to weave in those to where you really don't see the wire fence. I've got the fence, but you won't see it, and it's just going to look like one big hedge around when it all grows in good. So, and even those will be on one zone with a dripper, but I've got probably about September or October is when everything's really dying back down, and I have to blow all those lines out with air to make sure they don't freeze.
So you winterize. Your irrigation.
Yep.
So, but you blow them out with air. You don't put, like some people I know up north, they put fucking antifreeze in.
Yeah, there's some type of like that's an all natural stuff that they could put in. It's like a
They got
citrusy.
some nature friendly. Yeah.
Yep, they can dump it in. And
same
actually,
thing for the RVs. Now we got antifreeze that is nature friendly. You can put in your water lines to make them not freeze, and then you just dump it straight out onto the ground when it's all done, and it's good for the ground.
Yep. And I've actually got a miniature version of what they use on some of these big agricultural units for and before anybody out there panics, but they're called the chemical injection system. But I get it. It's just a little bottle that goes in and injects fertilizers and stuff. But I found a place that supplies natural based fertilizers and stuff. They're not chemicals. So it'll actually inject it straight into the line as it's watering.
See, I looked into that. That's a very, very smart way to do it. Very smart.
You don't have to, that way you don't have to go out there and spread it around.
Yep.
And all that. It just puts it right in the line and waters it with.
Totally automated, totally scientific, totally less work for my lazy big ass.
And when I worked in research and development, it was for a chemical injection company, an ag company, and I still know several of the people there, so I'm able to get some stuff there at cost to do it, and I've already got most of the stuff I need. So
that's nice.
Yep,
that's very
luckily
nice.
I know a lot of the right people, and the people, if I don't know people in the right area, I know that most of them want something built coming up. So they try to, like, I'll scratch my back if you scratch here, or I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine, so it works out usually. That's with the cement. I mean, I'll end up paying less than $80 a yard for cement that is selling for $140 a yard right now. So it works out hauling the cement.
It sounds like you're quite adept at playing the social game around your area. On top of that, it also sounds like you have a large and highly dispersed or regionally dispersed family that
Yes.
At least you're not completely estranged to. So that
Yeah,
doesn't,
yeah.
in other words, that doesn't hate you,
Right.
that
Right.
will make you reasonably successful in your endeavors, no matter what you do.
Yeah. And luckily my family's actually quite close. I think I've got a couple cousins that are that some of us don't get along with that well, but that's it. The
That
rest of
hate
them
you.
we all get
Say
along.
it. Say it with me.
Oh yeah.
Hate you.
Yeah. They despise me. And a lot, unfortunately, and is what sucks is, none of us cut them out. They cut us out, and it had to do with politics because 99.9% of my family were, if they didn't start out as Trump supporters, they became Trump supporters, and we're all very vocal, and they just didn't like it. So,
Well, the
yeah,
problem is clearly on the left side. So,
yep.
but we know
And
that.
it's unfortunate they decided to cut us out, but hey, that's worse for them because all of us are doing pretty well, and I know they're not. One of them is the one that I talked to not too long ago, and I told her, "You're welcome," because I think I'm paying for your insurance.
There you go.
Yep.
Love it. And John kicks in and says, "You know what? I'm going to take care of your ass. Why? Because you're family. And it's the right thing to do."
Yep.
Now quit your whining. See, that's the thing. If they whine after that, then you can spank them. Sorry.
Yeah, but I've got, unfortunately, definitely a couple very, very liberal cousins that.
Well, sorry to hear that, brother.
Yeah,
I understand it though. I do.
And it normally wouldn't bug me, but to where somebody would literally, dump their family. My family's, aunts, uncles, parents, they've always been very good to me, cousins, and I know they've been very good to them. Somebody that would dump a family like that just because they think their political views are toxic, it's like, come on. And my family's not a hateful family. I've got, second cousins that are, black and Hispanic, and there's every color of the rainbow in my family, so
Yeah.
it's not a hateful family. So to for them to try to pull that, and it's just like that's the part that disappoints me.
I have one. My baby brother's a hardcore left-leaning liberal, bleeding heart fucking. I just, but I told him, listen, you're a liberal piece of shit and you're never going to change. And it's because of your wife. But I still love you. You're still my brother, but you're still a liberal piece of shit. And that's when he calls me Glenn. And that's when I know he loves me. So,
yeah. And
Glenn was my gun-toting, tobacco-chewing, cigar-smoking, cussing, womanizing, whiskey-drinking, gun-running grandfather, mine. And everybody in the family hated him. Everybody. So when my brother wants to spew hate in my direction, he calls me Glenn.
I gotcha.
Anyway, that's my family. We're a little twisted. What can I say?
All families have their quirks, right?
You know what? The older I get, the more I understand, the more I hear people, the less weird my family becomes.
Yep.
Because everybody else's is weirder.
Yep.
A lot.
I know.
Some of them a lot weirder.
I know my nieces and nephews, some of them they don't drink, but they smoke weed. And they're in their 20s, but they don't drink, they smoke weed. And they were so afraid to tell me and tell like my mom and stuff like that. And when they did tell us, we're like, oh, so, and they were so flabbergasted. It's like, you guys grew up with us, that it's you be you, we'll be us, So I have no idea why they're so scared to tell us, you know.
They all think
Just
they're the first. They all think they're the first to do anything. They
yeah,
all think that
yeah,
they're the first people to break, they don't know that you and me smoked weed when we were their age or before.
yeah.
They don't think that.
And
That's not, we were never that. So that's not the way that their brain works. And so
yep,
it's kind of narcissistic if you ask me.
yep,
But yeah, all right. There's nothing I can do about it.
yep, yep. Well, actually, I had that conversation with one of my nieces, and she just had her 23rd birthday and everything, and her boyfriend and everything, they like to smoke weed. And I tell you what, that kid makes bank, by the way. He's some tech, does something with tech, and he makes like $130,000 a year, and he's 22. He
Damn.
just got out of college. Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, I think
brother.
he's been out of college for maybe a year now. So he might be 23 now, but he makes so much. But anyways, they were talking about that, and she's like, yeah, but you've never done anything wrong in your life. That's why everybody's nervous to be around you. I was like, I've never done anything. They're like, yeah, you're calm and you're relaxed, and you've always been the level-headed one. I was like, oh God. I was like, haven't you listened to stories around? They're like, yeah, but you always tell us those stories are exaggerated. I was like, well, I'm not necessarily quite as exaggerated. I was like, the reason I'm calm now is because of a lot of dumb decisions that I made that I realized weren't for me. So I was like, just like everybody else, I made decisions that didn't work out and did a lot of
be
dumb
alive
stuff.
today. I should
Oh
not
yeah.
be. There are a lot of decisions I made that meant that I should not be alive today. Honestly.
I,
Dumb.
yep. I had a badass guardian angel. That's all I'll say. I had a very good one.
Oh man. 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in South Korea. And this is in 1986. So South Korea is not exactly a developed country at that point in the program. Anyway, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm on a tugboat going out into the middle of a harbor to meet a cruise or to meet a cargo ship to replace its radar. So to replace the radar, I have to carry with me a portable oscilloscope. The portable oscilloscope weighs 67 pounds. I have to carry that up a rope ladder, 60 plus feet of freeboard up this ship to board this ship to fix this radar with this. Needless to say, the portable oscilloscope didn't make it to the top of the ladder. It currently sits at the bottom of said harbor. But they fished me out of the water as I fell into the water. So one of those times where, I shouldn't be alive today kind of thing. That was one of those. Anyway, that's part of my story.
Yep. I rolled a car once, and there was nothing left of that car. I had a minor scratch on my forehead and like some bruised ribs. That's all I got out of it.
Dude, how did you do that? Were you the only one in the car?
I was the only one in the car. Yep. We have
drunk?
some windy.
Hold on. Were you drunk?
Not completely.
Well, were you loose?
It was. Oh yeah.
Okay.
We were racing on a windy dirt road. We used to do laps and race, and it was in a little Honda, didn't have any plates on it. We're out in the middle of nowhere it was a mile around, but it basically almost curved around with the different curves and stuff like a circle track. And we'd go out there and race in the middle of the night. So I was in a little Honda car, a little 4-cylinder Honda, and one of the no, it was it was a little hatchback, like a mid-80s hatchback.
Oh, dude, Civic. It was an early model
Yeah,
Civic.
I
had one.
Yep, a Civic. Yep.
I fucking love that car.
I was buzzing around. I mean, these things, they, had straight pipes coming out of them. And I mean, we took it fairly seriously. But one of the areas, it goes up and down about 15 feet and everything. And the car went down that. And everybody saw me disappear. And I was climbing up by the time they were getting there to check me out. So, yeah. But that
So
was one of the.
You've heard the phrase "God has mercy on drunks and children" in all
Yeah.
actions. Okay,
Yep.
just say it.
And that was and it's kind of, it's not to defend myself, because I should have been doing even that after we were out there, tailgating for a
Hindsight's
while.
2020.
Yeah,
Amazing.
but one thing I'll give myself credit for, I did not go down a regular road if I even had one or two bears. I just would never do that.
Okay.
And thank goodness, because I got in enough trouble drag racing and stuff like that to where until I was 25, from the time I was 16 to 25, I had the grace point on my driver's license.
I'm saying I always carried the maximum 6 points. Virginia would let you carry 6 points plus.
Nice.
Until I left that state, and I really don't want to go back to Virginia. But anyway,
yeah, but since I got all my points back and got off of that 8-year probation or whatever it was, 10-year probation on my license and everything, when I got my license back, I haven't had a ticket since I've been 25. Drag racing through town and right in the middle of town. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really dumb and really bad.
Yeah, I get it.
Yep. And then we tried to hide from the cops, like by going really.
That helps.
Really.
That helps.
Yeah. Yep. We were going very fast, trying to get out of town, going through alleys. There was every cop car in town. The sheriffs were out. Yeah. It was bad. And they already knew who we were, because at the time that little town had only about 2,000, maybe 3,000 people in it. So they knew exactly who we were.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We should have just stopped. We were younger, dumb, thought we could get out of it. And yeah. Yep.
That's the way it works, brother.
I should have never kept my license. I got really lucky because I was actually, at that time, I wasn't in my rebellious stage quite yet. So I barely, and I just got my license too. So yeah, I didn't almost get sent to military school until I was 17. So
you didn't almost, let me read that again, read that back. You didn't almost get sent to military school until you were 17.
Yeah.
Did I read that right?
Yep. From the time I was 15 all the way up to almost 18, I was kind of a bit of a hellraiser.
Almost sent to military school.
The school, if it weren't for my parents, I probably would have gone, because the school, apparently there are scholarships for military school. And the school thought I needed to go to learn discipline, and we're really pushing it. Thank goodness for my parents. They pulled me out of that school and put me in a different school, and I straightened my act up real quick.
Dude, fear is a powerful motivator. It is.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I straightened up pretty, the PDQ.
I understand completely. I wasn't that thoughtful. I wasn't that smart. I was never that quick. It took me 23 years to learn. Sorry.
Now I had another stage that kicked in about 20, to where I got pretty wild until I was about 24, 25. And then my dad got sick, and that calmed me down. I moved back in with my parents to help take care of my dad because he got his cancer that he got when I was in high school came back and it got into his bones. So it was pretty bad. So I had moved back in and that settled me down real quick. And ever since then, I've been pretty calm. So,
Old guy.
yep.
I understand.
Yep.
I understand. Been there, done that. Wiz, what
Yep.
do you have to say? I've been talking too much. I need to let somebody else talk. Wiz, are you still asleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up?
Not much.
Hold
Just
on.
checking in on you. You know,
Yeah,
making
no,
sure
I
you're
was,
kind of putting the mirror under your nose to see if there's breath coming out of there.
right. Yeah. Well, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. If you want to go ahead and carry on,
No, I'm
feel
good.
free. Huh?
Yeah, I'm good too. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I got it.
Call it.
Fire in the bowl.
Well, good talking to you guys.
Always a pleasure, Sing. Glad you're doing
Have a good
well.
one.
Stay safe.
You guys
Please
too.
make all the money you can.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Opportunity
Yep.
presents itself.
Yep. All right. Take care, guys.
All right.
right.
See you guys tomorrow night. Dream well, Patriots. God
Later.
bless you all. See you tomorrow night. Remember, we're going to win this shit. Dream well, Patriots.